when you were on, and you could say you were on those psych meds, and you could say that you weren't.
What you mean?
But as a man, some of the things that you said, Tyrese, deserve me to box your mouth. And I didn't. No, we were talking because this is something that I never wanted to say, and since he wants to be, well, why envy? I'm telling him why.
He held back some punches because Envy was saying some stuff. I'm like, bro,
Envy was saying some childish things.
He was.
Like, you're too old to be talking like that.
He really was.
Especially when the person is not even giving you that energy. That's not the energy that he's giving off.
Exactly.
And you talking about lip boxing somebody. Like, I never even heard of that.
He said that. I was like, wait, what? Lip boxing in your mouth. I was like, huh?
Like, really?
I was like, yo, it was. And Charlamagne, he just
bruh. So let me play a little bit of this.
I'm unpacking real shit, but I was just having a conversation last night with somebody who's going through a situation right now. And although I didn't do a DJ Envy,
he wasn't talking to me this time. It just wasn't me this time.
No,
put that out there. This
God didn't give me no assignment to do nothing like that. Right. Because that ain't. I'm like, okay, well, if it's an assignment, then it ain't something that you finna do 10, 12 times in a row. So I was very clear that what God put on my heart to do with my brother, it happened. But yeah,
I don't know if he appreciates that as much as he should.
He don't.
Do you appreciate what Tyrese did for you back then?
Of course.
No.
Okay, just making sure.
I don't feel like you do.
Why don't Jeffy don't know?
No, I'm new to Breakfast Club. I don't know what's going on.
It's all right.
I'll explain it.
Yeah.
All right.
Was going through a hard time. Cheated on my wife. My wife wanted to get a divorce. Charlamagne talked me into apologizing on the radio and calling her live.
Okay,
that not Charlamagne.
Lawrence. Why would you ever?
That didn't happen.
Bad idea. What? But it was a good idea. I'm gonna tell you why. Bad idea because I put my business on it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right? Tyrese happened to be in town and heard some of the things that were going on. So Tyrese called to check on me and see what was going on. I was going through it. And instead of just checking and keeping moving, he stayed on top of it. To the point where he became the therapist.
Yeah.
The mediator,
right?
The person in between,
right? The reason that you are with your wife today,
right?
Still
Part of that reason,
yeah,
absolutely. So he was in there, being that person in the middle of it. So he was the one where he was explaining and talking, because sometimes during those type of situations, wife didn't want to hear from me. My wife didn't want to hear from me.
Absolutely not.
But she was hearing from Tyrese from a different side.
And he's saying,
"Can I finish my story?" So anyway. So Tyrese called and said, "Hey, this is what I want you to do. Get a dinner, book a private room at your house. I'm going to be there. You and your wife have a dinner, and I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna sing Stay, which is my favorite Tyrese song.
Classic record.
Oh my God.
Classic record.
Right? And he had a violinist, and he came and they sang Stay, and he sat down there with us for dinner and spoke to us and guided us through as far as he could our relationship, and we had to go through other steps.
And then with all of that, Tyrese still got to beg Envy to play his record.
And then the thing is, and then y'all treat him like this when he comes here.
Yeah.
Well,
no, before I even got here, that's the whole thing. What Charlamagne just said is true. I don't feel, and you got to keep in mind.
Let's pause that right there.
Yeah.
Yo, before I even watched this, I didn't even know. I hear I'm getting a little feedback. Before I even watched this, I didn't even know that Tyrese even did that. Like,
yeah, me neither.
And that's just crazy. That's just, I didn't know he would do anything like that.
I think that was pretty noble of him. Because he didn't have to. He did the extra step. Like, not many friends. I don't think many friends would do that. Like, actually step in and stick by it for like the remainder of the time. Like, you don't really hear about that.
And that's a lot of people, we talk about this within our community, is that when we're going through things, especially in relationships, it's hard to find people that's going to, step up and be there and give you some good advice. 'Cause most of your friends are like, man, just leave her.
For real.
Just leave her. Just leave her.
I look at it as heavenly deposits. When you do things for people and you're not saying, I'm gonna do this because I want this out of it.
Right.
Like, the most uncomfortable part of my day thus far is just listening to Envy tell that story.
Oh, why? Why?
Because I didn't do it to be
for that, to be
applauded
praised
for it.
about it.
I didn't do it because I knew that they was gonna write their book together about it or be doing interviews about it. It was literally an assignment. So crazy that even before I came here to sing at this restaurant, we were already on the phone for at least 2 months. I didn't hear your interview.
I never even heard anybody say that before. We was on the phone for 2 months.
We was on the phone for 2 straight months because I never heard your interview from New York. That happened for me for LA.
Oh, from LA.
Yeah, because when you announced it, it went viral. So I was able to hear the apology on the gram. So that's when I reached out to you. And then this is something I've never told you. You remember when I said, hey man, make arrangements to get the whole house clean, the housekeeper. And then I said, I'm gonna set up the room, come meet me here. And we organized all of that. I text you and I was like, yo man, I'm on my way to New York. I got a bunch of interviews and meetings and label. I gotta go run in label, go this and that. That was all a lie. I flew in town just for you and your wife.
Oh, wow.
So
And you don't play his record.
no,
It's not about his record.
I don't
Charlamagne is
I don't need my records played.
Yeah.
But I will say this.
But this is the part that I don't appreciate about Envy.
he's a troll.
He is.
Is when Tyrese divorce comes across your headline. When the captions associated to the things that come across your desks. Where's that same heart and love that I extended to you that you could extend to me, instead of it just being paper pushing and this is what Tyrese is on the gram again.
That's
And then
exactly what
it's
he
like,
do.
okay, that's expected. No, it's all right. This is my brother.
Envy can't sing though.
No,
No,
Envy
you
never
can't.
does
Shut
it
up,
though.
man. Why is everything a
He
joke to you?
does-
Why is everything serious?
does
While
that.
every on-air personality, blog, podcast, whatever, they got a job to do. They're gonna say things, clickbait, ratings, this and that. But when you have certain people on the radio and you've developed some type of relationship with them, and again, you owe me nothing, right? Ultimately, you did the work. Right. God just decided to take my hand and use it in any way he can. And there's nobody that could ever give me more props than what God has done for me.
Yeah.
To say, like, good job, son. You did everything I asked you to do. You don't even know what I have in mind for you, but you did it. And there's a very married couple that was very married. Everybody go through things. But why is my marriage funny? Why is my divorce just something to talk about? Where is the outreach?
This is a good conversation. Let's put it all out there. Go ahead.
Where is the call? You good, Reese?
It's like
I need to come to Atlanta and come pull up on you at the house. And
Charlamagne did,
put my
but
eyes on you.
Let me tell you.
Charlamagne came to do an interview that I requested for him to do. I'd never stepped in, and God never used me to step in when this man's marriage was potentially on the brink.
All right, so do you want to talk about that? Is there a balance between reporting news and maintaining compassion and empathy when discussing people's personal challenges in the media? Because think about this, man. I think we've gotten accustomed to seeing celebrities all the time now because of social media, and even just regular people that's posted their stuff on social media, and making fun and creating jokes for the sake of likes and views on people's personal life. What do you think about that?
I mean, if you look at any headlines, like magazines or just on like Google, it's always like Angelina Jolie just broke up with so and so, or Rod Wave just cheated on his so and so, and Bando Man so and so just caught with someone. People are they're just ready to like put people's business out there. And I mean, I get it. That's what everybody looks for. That's what a lot of people like, that's what they feed on. They want to see what's the next drama, what's the next news, like what's going on in so and so's life. They're looking, but it's like you got to also draw that line, especially in this situation. Is like, this is people like that they know, like, these are your brothers or so and so your friends or family in a way. So it's like, I feel like they really should have some compassion, especially in this sense. Like, since he had compassion with them, I feel like they should, definitely not just. I know he probably felt some type of way. He had to feel some type of way. You see your business thrown out there and not in the same light. When not handled the same way as like when when the predicament was the other way around. So I mean, I just feel like you got to have a balance, and I really feel like people should really pay attention to, like, before they just put people's business out there and acting like it's a joke. Like, would they want to be the person in those shoes? And they probably wouldn't. Or they would handle it differently if they were going to do it.
And I think that's why you have people like J. Cole rarely do interviews.
Oh yeah,
because at the end of the day, you can be thinking that you build some type of camaraderie with some of these some of these publicists, these DJs, radio hosts, and at the end of the day, when something's happened in your life, they're just gonna make fun of it, and like it's nothing, like they don't even know you. So I guess that's why they stay away from radio hosts, because at the end of the day, when you up, they're gonna congratulate you. When you down, they gonna clown you.
Oh, they gonna roast you.
They gonna roast you. And the whole thing with Tyrese, when he was and he talks about it later on, but when he was what was that thing that people were making fun of online when he said, God dog, what did he say? What about me, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Bro, I didn't know what he was going through at that time.
Me neither.
Right, but I know he was going through something. I was like, yo, this is weird. Why, kind of find out he was on psych meds.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It really is. Like, you just never know. Never know what people are going through.
Yeah. You never know. And I think it's just tougher for a lot of people, man. Where you want to get to a certain notoriety because you want to build something for your family, but that notoriety comes with a cost. And the cost is the minute you fall, the vultures are waiting.
Paparazzi, society, they all waiting. They waiting on something to talk about.
Let me see here.
Kind of like when
here you go.
A preacher tells you something in church, right? And the preacher tells you what you need to do to be better. Then you look at the preacher's life and you say, how do you teach me something that you're not doing? I don't respect the preacher anymore. Oh shit. I respect the message.
Bro, let me stop. That energy, bro, the energy immediately was just weird.
You can feel it.
It was just like
vindictive, like, I don't know. He just came in, you could his energy is just way different than what Tyrese is putting out. You can feel the difference.
Yes. And to be honest with you, I didn't think it was appropriate.
No.
I didn't think it was appropriate. He's not coming at you like that.
Right.
And then, and the weird thing is, you were going through something in your life where people can say, you did something inappropriate. You cheated on your wife. Mm-hmm. But Tyrese didn't come with that energy, judging you with that energy. He came trying to, hey, I see you trying to get back with her. Let me help. Let me see what I can assist.
Right. So you can really level with Tyrese on this, because
I really can, man.
You can level with him, because it's like he really reached out and tried to help. Like, and then when it's the other way around, It's a joke.
It's a whole joke.
It's crazy.
How it came, but you know what I've been through, and you know how I changed as a man and as a person. And you were there for it. You was a brother for it. But then when I look at my brother and saying what he's telling me to do and how he's telling me to live, he's not living that way. I don't respect it.
How do we know that though?
Well, I'm gonna tell you why, because and these are the things that we've seen, and not only in private, because things that we know in private, but it's also things that I see in public.
Okay.
Me and my wife are good, right?
Hold on, I gotta respond to that.
Let me give examples first, so you understand where I'm coming from. Because if you don't know where I'm coming from, you're just gonna pull things out the blue.
I'm not gonna pull anything out the blue. I'm gonna respond to what you just said. First of all, to arrive at an opinion of what I'm doing versus what I'm not doing is based on public consumption. I never made a decision, or God never used me to make a decision about your life based on what was being reported on public consumption. What I know about you, what I know about what you did, what I ultimately knew about what your wife was feeling and carrying, and what y'all were in the process of, you couldn't read none of that online. I got that information from the outreach. So whatever feelings you have about me and what I should be or shouldn't be doing pertaining to my approach,
Look at what he looking.
unraveling and bleeding out loud in the middle of my thing, that would have actually been the reason to call.
No, and I did have conversations with you, and this is from before your ex-wife, when you were talking to the girl out overseas and who you were as a man. I didn't respect that. And then when we talk on private chats, it has nothing to do with the public. Just having to do with who you were and how you speak and how you talk about the people next to you. I didn't respect it to the point where I blocked you on my chat because I didn't want to see Tyrese as that. That's not the man that was my brother.
Let's shoot bail, because I think this is a great conversation, because I think it's a lot of miscommunication between all of us, right? And you were going through a lot back then, because you admitted that to me. Because when me and you had words.
Are we talking about psych med?
Yeah. That's when you was on the psych med.
It's a little bit of everything.
He was on the psych med. Because you said you don't even remember a lot of the stuff you were saying. Though.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't at all. So it's just like when you get drunk, do you hold your boy to what he's saying while he's drunk?
No, I never held that against you.
Okay. Do you hold anybody to anything that they're doing when you know that this is their usual self? They were drunk, they were out of their mind, and they end up saying and doing some shit that hurt my feelings, that was offensive, that made me feel a way. But I know that characteristically, that's not who this man is.
Well, see the difference is, I honestly don't know what psych meds you were on or who you were during that point. I don't know.
It's called Rick Schulte. It fucked me up.
I don't know. I never had a conversation with you because I never wanted to see you like that. The person who spoke to me on these texts, spoke to my wife during that time at the text, I didn't like that. And I wanted to remember Tyrese as a person that was my brother and help my relationship, not the Tyrese that I was going through. So I took a step back from
you got until we had a conversation. Messages of the psych med, Tyrese?
He did. That's what it was.
You crazy? Charlamagne told you to suck his dick before on that message.
Because you was talking crazy.
Whoa.
You know that. We had this conversation already.
Guys.
But he literally said, I don't remember any of that.
I don't remember what I said that made you say that or made you feel that way.
But to this point, I took a step back because I didn't know what you were going through, and I tried to talk to you, and I seen who you were, and I didn't even like who you were online. And to my point, I tried, and when I seen how you were talking this way, I said, I'm going to take a step back.
And you know, when me and Tyrese had a
How convenient.
How convenient. Yeah, when the way you were talking the way that you were.
How convenient to step back.
What you mean?
I never stepped back from you.
I mean,
that's right. But I never talked to your wife in a disrespectful manner, and you talked to mine in a disrespectful manner. And I never told nobody that. Even when you were on, and you could say you were on those psych meds, and you could say that you weren't. But as a man, some of the things that you said, Tyrese, deserve me to box your mouth. And I didn't. No, we were talking because this is something that I never wanted to say. And since he wants to be, well, why envy? I'm telling him why. You said disrespectful shit to my wife.
What do you say?
It's neither here nor there. To the point where, while my
bruh, hold on, let me fix this. What is this? The energy is not. It's not calling for that right now.
It's really not. Like, he lashed out just now. He lashed out.
And I want to call it a lash out. Oh, I'm hearing feedback. Let me mute you while I talk.
Yeah.
Let me see. I want to call it a lash out, but to me, it's like he's trying to bolster himself to be something that he's not. You get what I'm saying? It's like you're posing right now. And it's one of those things that you say, oh, since you were talking about my wife, I should have boxed you in your lip. It's like, well, that energy you should have had at the time that he was doing it. If that's the energy that you wanted, that's the thing. At that time, that's the energy you should have presented. Not now that he's calm and he's trying to talk to you and he's even telling you like he was on something. You're like, well, regardless of that, you know, I should have like, come on, man. Like, nobody's even, Tyrese ain't even getting flustered by what you're saying. It just seems weird. Even your girl, like what the hell's going on? I don't know, man. I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, no, I feel like it is weird too. It's just like his energy is just. It's like like you said, if this was such a big problem, you should have addressed it before. Because this is like you're being passive about it. So what it's like you just upset with your homie all this time, and he didn't know. Obviously, he just said he didn't even remember it because he was on the psych meds. But it's like, you really gonna like why didn't you mention something to him before now, like before you on the air in front of everybody? So I see what you mean when you say like about being boastful, because he probably would have never had this energy. He would have never probably said this to his face, like I should box you in your mouth. He probably would have never actually said that to his face outside of the Breakfast Club, if you really think about it.
Family, if somebody disrespects you and you feel that way about your wife, you handle it right there. Right then and there. Matter of fact, you handle it even before he sits down in that chair. Like, I gotta talk to you about like what you, but it's so long ago, like you can't even have that energy anymore.
Exactly. It's like way in the past now. Like, he probably forgot it even happened. Like,
since we're gonna talk about it, I should have boxed you. It's like your wife at home probably like, stop it now. You're embarrassing yourself. And I think it's, I don't know. Let's finish because DJ's getting on my nerves.
My wife doesn't call you back anymore. And to the point, when you started talking to psych meds, me and my wife had a conversation and said, well, maybe Tyrese was on those medicines when he said. But if you ever text me and my wife, you can't text me because I just unblocked you probably about a month ago when me and Charlamagne was talking, and he told me that you were on the psych meds and this is what it was.
This is longer than a month ago.
Yeah, that's what made me unblock you. So that was the reason why I stopped talking to you and will not reach out to you anymore, because I'm like, I don't want to remember my brother as that. And maybe you were going through problems. So if somebody if I talk to your wife disrespectful, I don't expect for you to come check on me. Okay. And that's how I felt at that time.
Okay. You did that to a lot of people.
Bro, did you see her face? Did you see her face?
Wait, no, listen.
This is great. We haven't even got one.
Envy's face.
And I'm going to say this.
No, the chick face, the comedian.
Jesse.
She was disgusted. Like, she was disgusted. Like,
things that I posted, my conduct overall, that was literally out of my control. I've literally prayed that people can find it in their heart to not hold me to something that I said and did while I was literally out of my mind. And if we could expect God to give us grace, we should always extend that same grace. So what I'm saying to you is, everybody clearly could see that something was going on. This is not, something's happening. Crying video, what more do you want from me? Congratulations. Something is happening. And so now, when you're out of your mind, you don't go on Instagram and say, I just got off the phone and Will Smith is sending me $5 million when I never even talked to Will Smith.
You don't call Jada and say, I ain't no killer, but don't push me.
Right.
Revenge is like the sweetest joy that you
said that.
Yeah, I did on the phone to Jada, because I was like, maybe that'll help It's called real.
Shit, yo. Ain't no way.
No, I said that.
I believe
But when he told me that, that's when I had grace. I was like, damn. I was
Well, now you
Go
think
on.
about it. What have I ever said about Tyrese?
nothing.
Nothing but positivity. In my
That's
book,
not true.
when I did interviews, there's nothing that I've ever said negative
We
about
didn't,
Tyrese.
we didn't show Tyrese a lot of grace when we was reporting those headlines. I can admit.
And I
Thank you.
remember getting up there
That's
reporting
what
a
I'm
headline and
talking-
you straight bust out laughing. He did it, you did
And
it.
that's what I'm talking about. So I'm saying, literally, I don't do anything for anybody expecting anything in return, but to say, well, you know what? I know that if my divorce had ultimately happened, I don't really know that I'd be sitting in front of Envy right now. So now extend that grace to me to say, I'm gonna put myself in Tyrese's shoe. Whether it's drunk, whether it's psych meds, that's my brother. And when I leave this station, I still get to go home to a wife and a family. For whatever reason, this nigga didn't even know my name. He was Envy. Your wife was on the phone, beautiful. You know, Rashawn. And I was like, who is that?
Yeah.
So everything that happened the way it did. And in my mind, I didn't look at it any other way but doing God's work. And in this room, in this situation, good seed is planted. So if my name ever come across the desk, if there's anything that y'all have to report, because you got the rumor report, you got things that you got a job to do. But the grace and the energy that I'm feeling from what's being reported doesn't feel like there's any connectivity to me at all.
Well, we know why now, because Envy was upset. I'm not gonna lie, I felt the way I told you this about, coming down to Atlanta, doing the interview that never came out. I felt like my time was wasted.
And that wasn't on me. And you know
That's
that.
what you said. Yeah. So I mean, we both had our little issues that were just petty shit. That's all. But we love you, my brother.
And that's what brothers do.
And you apologize to me for wasting my time, so I'll apologize publicly to you for not showing you that grace when we was doing those rumor reports.
Listen, it's like I said, y'all have a job to do, man. But yeah, it's like
You don't mean that.
Huh?
You don't mean that.
I don't mean what?
That we have a job to do. You don't want. All right, come on. You don't want us to report on you like we do everybody else.
Y'all have a job to do to report the things that come across y'all desk. I just ask for grace.
But some of this shit be funny.
Well, I gave you that.
You have to laugh and you got to report it, but it's the dialogue that comes along with it after it's reported. That's like, oh, come on, man. Come on, man. I thought I was your man.
Some of it funny.
But that's mostly him over there.
Oh my God.
We'll stop it right there. But yeah, man, that's what, after, I think I didn't watch the whole interview. I watched probably like the next 10, 20 minutes. But I was thoroughly like, man, this was definitely discussion that needed to be had in front of people so people can understand that, like, if you call somebody your brother, like if somebody's your brother, whether they're a friend or a real brother, you have to extend that level of grace. Like if I'm going through something or you're going through something, and people handle situations differently. So I may call you and you may be, pushing me away saying you don't need any help, but I'm like, nah, let me still, try to reach him, right? Because when I was going through something, he went out of his way to ensure that my situation was good. And like your boy Tyrese said, yeah, that was convenient of you. I said some things that you didn't like, and it was convenient of you to just take a step back. Like, and the crazy thing is, had Tyrese never intervened, Envy's marriage could have been over.
Facts.
So what do you get out of it?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I look at it too. If it was the other way around, like, what I'm saying, he would want the grace. And the fact that he really showed that he's his brother. What I'm saying? Like, Tyrese really put himself out there. He didn't have to do that. Like, not many people really do that as a friend, as a brother. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that he really cared enough about him to reach out and like pretty much help mend their relationship. Like he said, they said they probably wouldn't even be together right now. So I mean, he should, at the very least, that's something that he could do, is show him some grace, you know, especially during that time. You know, I get it, you know, I understand what he's saying, like, oh, you know, you did disrespect my wife, blah blah blah. But it's like we talked about earlier, address that when that type of thing happens. You don't hold a grudge against your whole brother and then act two-faced when the actual situation comes up. When you are, you know, you should be, you know, giving out that same type of energy that he brought out. But, you know, it's just very like, you know, point the finger and vindictive kind of energy, I feel like. And, you know, but I don't think that, you know, he should hold him in such a high regard as for what he did. You know, you should forgive, because, you know what I'm saying, you can see, I feel like he's a really legitimate person when it comes to his friends and his boys and his brothers. Like, I feel like he's like someone that's really gonna be there, and that's rare. You know what I'm saying? That's actually that's rare. Not everybody's gonna do that.
Especially not come to New York and sing for you and your wife.
Right? Like, who does that?
like who does that?
Nobody does that.
That's some Martin and Gina, your boy Brian McKnight showing up to sing, you know. And another thing that I want to address, you know, what's your boy Charlamagne is always talking about mental health, man. He's always talking about mental health, and I don't think that he really, like, when you talk about mental health and you have a platform, which I do like their platform, but you create some of the things that give people mental health problems. Like, yeah. cyberbullying, man. I think, like, I tell people, it's probably I think it's worse than like normal bullying back in the day. Because back in the day, you get in a fight, nobody's seen it. Some of your friends seen it. They have to, you know, depict the fight, depict what happened, and this happened, and sometimes it's hyperbole in it. And but now people record it, they post it.
You get put on YouTube.
Hey, you get put on YouTube. You see. You get your ass whooped every day.
And then they'll make a music video to it.
Making a music video, you know. So I think when he's talking about mental health, it's hard to take him seriously when he's like a real life troll. Like, he's made his living being a troll. Where you even have people that come on the show just looking at him like, bro, just stop. Please just stop. Please just stop. And I got to give it to Jessie. Like, I like her energy.
Yeah.
Within the topic, that feminine energy was real great, because she was like, man, I kind of like her as that third wheel. If she stays there permanently, she's real good.
I like her too. Like, I saw her when she started on Instagram or Facebook back in the day. So that's cool seeing her up here.
She put her work in, man.
She
put
did
her work all the way in.
She did.
But yeah, man, that's what I wanted to have you on. Didn't want to keep it too long. Wanted to just dissect this a little bit. Get used to doing some reaction videos on the channel.
Okay.
Dissecting some things. Got Jalen on here. I like how you did that. Host of Elevated Mind podcast. Y'all make sure y'all go check my boy out. He does 1 million videos a day. I'm still, like I said, I'm just still flabbergasted. But there it is, man. There it is. Peace. We are out of here. Online Cookout. Talk to you soon.
Peace.
In this.